Why did demons, in a startling encounter, beg Jesus to send them into a herd of pigs? This enigmatic request and its dramatic consequences unveil much more than a mere exorcism. Discover the profound spiritual message hidden behind this extraordinary event. The mysterious reason demons pleaded with Jesus for the pigs delves into not just a spiritual confrontation, but the timeless conflict between materialism and spirituality. Watch and see how this ancient account resonates powerfully even today. On a sunny morning, Jesus and his disciples arrived in the region of the Gerasenes after crossing a large lake by boat. As they stepped onto land, a man who lived in the caves rushed toward them. This man was naked and highly agitated because he was possessed by many demons. He screamed and harmed himself with stones, and no one could soothe or help him. Upon seeing Jesus, the man ran up to him and knelt at his feet. The demons began to speak through the man, pleading with Jesus not to banish them from the area. Jesus, with his calm and commanding voice, asked the man, "What is your name?" The demons replied, "We are legion, for we are many." They were fearful of Jesus because they knew he had the authority to cast them out. The demons then begged Jesus to let them go into a large herd of pigs nearby. Jesus permitted this, and the demons left the man and entered the pigs. Suddenly, the entire herd stampeded wildly, rushed to a cliff's edge, and plunged into the lake, where they drowned. The man formerly possessed by the demons was set free and, for the first time in many years, felt peace and calmness. Townspeople came to see what had happened and found the man sitting, clothed, and talking calmly with Jesus. They were amazed and somewhat frightened, and asked Jesus to leave their region. However, the healed man wished to stay with Jesus. Jesus told him it would be better to go home and tell everyone what God had done for him. And so, the man went forth, spreading the news of his healing throughout the region, grateful and joyful. Have you ever wondered how someone can exhibit absolute authority over both the unseen and the physical? Picture Jesus, traversing the lands of Judea, not only healing ailments, but commanding the very realm of spirits. His words weren't just spoken, they echoed across Galilee. In Matthew, chapters 8 and 9, we witness his power as he frees a paralytic from his physical bonds and, even more impressively, asserts his dominance over demons. Throughout his journeys, Jesus addressed not just visible diseases, he also battled the spiritual afflictions plaguing humanity. The healing of the paralytic by Jesus was not just a standalone miracle. It was a declaration. He was demonstrating that his ministry touched every aspect of human life, both physical and spiritual. Every step Jesus took was a testament to his divine power and authority. Have you ever faced challenges that seemed insurmountable, both physically and spiritually? Consider how Jesus' authority over demons and diseases can inspire us. He teaches us that no area of our lives is beyond his reach and care. Why not reflect on areas of our own lives where we need to invite Jesus to demonstrate his authority? But how does this authority manifest in direct confrontations with evil? In the moments to come, we will see how his authority was dramatically tested as Jesus encountered a man in a desperate plight, dominated not by a physical ailment but by demons. Let's discover together how this story unfolds and what it reveals about Jesus' power and purpose. Imagine crossing a grim landscape where a man, notorious for his ferocity and possessed by a legion of demons, that is, 12,000 demons, is avoided by all. It was in this setting that Jesus, calm and commanding, entered the region of the Gadarenes. What followed was a confrontation that not only tested, but also showcased the magnitude of Jesus' authority over demons, a truth that echoes to this day. Upon encountering him, this possessed man didn't just see a teacher, they saw the Son of God. The demons within the man cried out, acknowledging his divinity and power, asking Jesus if he had come to torment them before the appointed time. This was not merely a moment of recognition, but a revelation of the awareness that even impure spirits have of their ultimate judgment. Now, take a moment to reflect. How often do we feel overwhelmed by troubles or by demons? The response of the demons to Jesus shows us that no matter how formidable the evil, it recognizes the superior authority of Christ. This is not just a comfort, but a powerful call to trust for all of us who follow his teachings. As the tension in this narrative builds, the demons make an unusual request, one that would change not only the plight of the possessed man, but also have a dramatic impact on the local environment. Knowing they cannot resist Jesus' command, they ask to be sent into a nearby herd of pigs. Let's explore how this seemingly odd request unfolds and what it reveals about Jesus' plan and power. How do you feel watching Jesus confront these spiritual forces with such authority? At this critical moment in the story, the demons, fully aware that they cannot challenge Jesus' authority, make a peculiar request: to be sent into a nearby herd of pigs. This request might seem odd at first glance, but it unveils deep layers of spiritual and cultural significance, reflecting the complexity of interactions between the divine and the profane. By granting the demons' request, Jesus not only demonstrates his uncontested sovereignty, but also highlights the symbolic impurity of pigs, animals considered unclean in Jewish traditions. This act is not merely an exorcism. It's a demonstration of how impurity, both spiritual and physical, is handled under his authority. What does this tell us about the bounds of Jesus' power and the laws of purification? Imagine the impact of this gesture on those observing. Jesus' authority over demons is so absolute that even the impure spirits obey his commands without hesitation. This is a crucial teaching moment, not just for the disciples, but for all of us. It teaches us about the power of redemption and transformation that Jesus can bring to our lives, regardless of the impurities we may carry. Now, reflecting on our daily lives, how can we apply this teaching? What demons or impurities are we asking Jesus to remove or transform in our lives? This act of Jesus is not just a physical healing, but a restoration of spiritual and moral order. As we move forward in the narrative, the reaction of the demons and the subsequent action on the pigs trigger a chain of events that culminates with an intense and revealing public reaction. When the demons entered the pigs, they triggered a massive act of destruction. The entire herd stampeded uncontrollably into the Sea of Galilee, where they all drowned. This dramatic moment is not just a scene of chaos. It is a powerful testament to Jesus' authority over demons and the physical manifestation of that authority. Why did the demons choose the pigs, and what does this symbolize about evil and its eradication? The reaction of the pigs, though tragic, serves as a potent symbol of what happens when evil is confronted with absolute divine power. It is completely eradicated. This visceral image may be shocking, but it is also enlightening. It shows us that under Jesus' command, there is no room for half measures. The purification is total. How does this display of Jesus' power resonate with you in your search for spiritual purification and renewal? The destruction of the pigs also raises important questions about the impact of Jesus' actions on the local community. The pig farmers, witnessing the catastrophic loss of their livelihood, react in ways that make us reflect on our own values. What do we value more, our material security or our spiritual liberation? This event challenges us to ponder what truly matters in our lives. As we move towards the public reaction to this miracle, it is crucial to consider how displays of divine power can be misunderstood or met with fear. The next part of the story shows us how the community reacts not just to the miracle itself, but to the transformative presence of Jesus among them. Following the dramatic incident with the pigs, the swineherds rushed to the town, spreading the news of what they witnessed. Their reaction is mixed. While there is astonishment, there is also palpable fear that permeates the community. They saw a miracle, but also a direct economic threat. How do you think you would react in a situation where the supernatural intervenes so disruptively? The swineherd's accounts ignite a spark of curiosity and dread among the population. In confronting Jesus, The community not only expresses their fear, but also an unconscious desire to maintain the status quo. This moment makes us question, are we willing to accept the divine in our lives, even when it implies profound changes and sometimes material losses? The request for Jesus to leave the region reflects a deep internal conflict between admiration for his acts and fear of their implications. It's a situation many of us can understand. How often do we resist necessary changes out of fear of the unknown or comfort in the familiar? This resistance to the divine, however, brings to light an essential reflection on our priorities. Are we, like the community of the Gadarenes, more concerned with our temporal possessions than with our spiritual liberation and well-being? In the biblical account, pigs are not just animals. They carry a heavy symbolic load, especially in the Jewish context where they are considered unclean. The demon's choice of these animals is not random, but intentional, highlighting the nature of the impurity they represent. Have you ever thought about the symbols in your own life and what they represent? The impurity of the pigs in the predominantly Gentile region of the Gadarenes serves as a mirror for the cultural and spiritual tensions of the time. By allowing the demons to enter these animals, Jesus not only cleanses the men of their possession, but also makes a powerful statement about the transformation and purification possible under his authority. How does this idea of purification apply to the impurities in our own lives? This act also sets the stage for deeper reflection on exclusion and acceptance. The pigs, being impure for Jews but of economic value to Gentiles, create a paradox. This leads us to question, what impurities do we tolerate in our lives for convenience or economic necessity? Furthermore, the destruction of the pigs symbolizes the ultimate defeat of evil and the restoration of divine order. This event not only challenges those present to reconsider their priorities, but also challenges us today. Are we willing to sacrifice what is economically valuable to us in favor of true spiritual purification and renewal? When Jesus allows the demons to enter the pigs, he is not simply solving an immediate problem. He is employing a strategy that reveals much about his character and his purposes. This act demonstrates that Jesus not only has authority over evil, but also knows how to use it to teach valuable lessons. Allowing the demons to pass from the men to the pigs may seem, at first glance, a concession to evil. However, it is quite the opposite. This strategic action by Jesus shows that although evil appears to be transferred, it is in fact being led to destruction. Doesn't this teach us that sometimes the solutions to our problems may seem counterintuitive, but are aligned with a greater plan for good? Jesus' decision also foreshadows the final judgment of the demons, emphasizing that there is a set time for the definitive end of evil. This is a message of hope and victory that transcends the immediate event and resonates with future promises. How does this perspective on judgment and redemption impact your view of injustices and evil in the world today? Moreover, this strategy shows that Jesus is willing to confront evil head-on, not avoiding the confrontation, but ensuring it is conducted in a way that reveals God's power and sovereignty. He invites us to trust that even in the most challenging situations, there is a divine purpose at work. Have you ever experienced moments in your life where something initially negative transformed into a disguised blessing? As we reflect on Jesus' strategy, we are led to consider not just the immediate actions, but the long-term implications of his authority and power. The episode of the demons and the pigs is not just an isolated miracle. It carries profound theological implications that challenge our understanding of the relationship between the divine and the mundane. By expelling the demons and allowing them to enter the pigs, Jesus is teaching us about the inherent conflict between materialism and spirituality. What does this conflict reveal about our own priorities? This story shows us that spiritual liberation can have material costs, as seen in the reaction of the swineherds who lost their livelihood. This fact might be uncomfortable, but it is essential for us to understand that sometimes spiritual gains require earthly sacrifices. How can we apply this lesson in our lives, where we often have to choose between what is easy and what is right? Furthermore, the community's reaction to Jesus' miracles illustrates common resistance to the divine, especially when it disrupts the economic or social status quo. This leads us to question, are we truly open to the transformation that God's presence can cause? Or do we resist it because it threatens our comfortable predictability? Once again reinforcing, Jesus' action symbolizes a definitive victory over the forces of evil, a recurring theme that assures us that, in the end, good will prevail over evil, despite temporary appearances. This promise comforts and strengthens us, especially in times of uncertainty and fear. Have you ever felt this promise manifesting in your own faith journey? As we explore these theological implications, we are invited to reflect on the depth of Jesus' teachings and how they challenge not just our beliefs, but also our daily actions. Jesus' ministry extended beyond the confines of the Jewish people to embrace the Gentiles, highlighting a crucial facet of his mission. Salvation is available to all, regardless of background or culture. This universal reach reinforces the notion that Jesus' teachings are inclusive and comprehensive. How does this inclusive approach influence the way we interact within our diverse communities? By preaching and performing miracles in Gentile territories, like the episode in Gadara, Jesus broke not only physical barriers, but also cultural and spiritual ones. These acts demonstrate his rejection of religious isolationism and his acceptance of everyone under divine grace. Have you considered the impact of this inclusiveness on your own life and beliefs? The inclusion of Gentiles in Jesus' teachings also challenges us to broaden our vision and mission. It's not just about accepting or tolerating differences, but actively embracing diversity as an essential component of the divine plan. How might this vision alter the way we act and think in today's often divided world? Moreover, the reception that Jesus received from the Gentiles, often more open than from his own countrymen, raises questions about openness and receptivity to the new. This makes us wonder, are we open to the new lessons God wants to teach us, or do we close ourselves off within our own traditions and preconceived understandings? Reflecting on this broader mission, we see that Jesus' journey among the Gentiles is not just a narrative element, but a living example of how we should lead our own lives, open, inclusive, and always seeking to expand the horizons of love and divine understanding. As we delve deeper into modern reflection on these themes, we consider how these ancient teachings still resonate powerfully and clearly in our time. What did you think of this journey through the lands of Gadara and the transformative power of Jesus? If this video touched your heart and opened your eyes to the profound spiritual truths that Jesus teaches us, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more enlightening content. Comment below on how these stories impact your life and share your own experiences with the struggle between the material and the spiritual. And it doesn't stop here. Click on the video that appears on the screen now to continue exploring the teachings of Jesus and how they can transform our lives today. Thank you for watching, and may you carry these lessons into your everyday life, always finding more room for the spiritual in a world that often seems dominated by the material.